What's up, everybody? I got access to the Halo Infinite flight this weekend, and I wanted to share some of my thoughts on the weapons available to us. Starting off with the loadout weapons, taking a look at the assault rifle. I like it, it's got the reach design, does good damage. I'm slightly concerned, however, because from what I've seen, there doesn't seem to be much damage drop off at range, or maybe it just does too much damage overall. Some slight tuning to the damage or the range would probably fix it in the right spot though. Now on to the secondary for our starts, the Sidekick. I love this weapon. I think it's perfect for where it needs to be in the sandbox as a secondary loadout weapon. It's 7 total shots to kill, and it's easy to hit a shot cadence where Plume doesn't affect your shots too much. Honestly, no complaints, big 10 out of 10 from me.
How very surgical.
Moving on to the precision weapons, we'll take a look at the battle rifle first. It seems to be exactly the same mechanically as in Halo 3, with 4 shots to kill at peak efficiency. It looks super similar to the battle rifle from Halo 2 and 3 as well. It's got a very classic feel, the sound design is great on it, another 10 out of 10 for me.
You're quite lethal with that. They're close.
On to a brand new entry into Halo, the Commando. I wasn't expecting to like this gun much, but it occupies a really good spot in the sandbox. At peak efficiency, you can kill in 7 shots. It can be fired on full auto, but mouse and keyboard, it feels like full auto fire is incredibly inaccurate. Feathering the trigger keeps the bloom under control and more accurate though, I've found. I've heard some people say that it kills a little bit too fast, so if anything, tone down the damage a bit. It's hard to find a spot in the sandbox for a single shot rifle like the DMR or the Covenant Carbine when the battle rifle exists and is just so good, but I think the Commando is a good compromise to those weapons not being here. Speaking of the Carbine, I am not a fan of what seems to be replacing it, that being the Pulse Carbine. It's a 3-shot burst and also fires tracking projectiles. On paper, I'm fine with this, but in practice, the projectiles rarely track correctly unless someone is walking at you in a straight line or standing still. If all the projectiles do hit, it's a 2-burst kill at optimal range. I don't really think this is a great trade-off though, because it feels random on whether or not your shots will hit. If you're too close or too far away, the projectiles just don't do anything, they don't track. I think there's a few ways to remedy this though. You could turn tracking off on the weapon and just let it be a high reward skill shot gun, or you could speed up the projectiles and just decrease the damage dealt per projectile. I'd even be fine with just a Covenant flavored battle rifle. As it stands now, I see the Carbine as a downgrade in almost every way from anything you could be holding, including the Sidekick. Moving on now to some of the ground weapons that we've had access to, starting with the Needler. I think the Needler is actually implemented pretty well from a mechanical standpoint. Functions very well as a close to medium range SMG, the tracking seems solid. My only complaint is that the visuals and audio for when someone blows up is just kind of anticlimactic. The pink cloud and the sound of the explosion is just, it's not my favorite. If it makes it in the final game, that's fine. It doesn't really change much, but I'd like some more excitement with it. Plasma pistol, not much to say. It's here, functions the same as it always has. The model looks pretty good. Let's move on. Onto the Bulldog, the new human shotgun. It holds 7 shots, fires full auto. Takes at least 2 shots to kill. I'm pretty happy with this overall, but I really hope that the original shotgun will still be in the final build. I think the Bulldog is great and can work well as its own thing, but not as a replacement for the traditional shotgun. Another new shotgun we saw here was the Heatwave. And in contrast to the Bulldog, I think this is a fantastic replacement for the Scattershot. In Halo 5, the Scattershot was just a shotgun that had bouncing pellets as a little bit of flavor, but it seems the bouncing pellets is the main feature of the Heatwave. It doesn't do insane damage if you hit directly, it still takes 2 shots to kill even if all the pellets hit on a vertical shot, but that's fine. It seems that its main job is to spread the damage, deny some area to the enemies, and the bouncing and overpenetration is pretty cool. If you can get it lined up well, on vertical you can get 2 kills from 2 shots because of the overpenetration. Very good addition in my opinion.
Double kill.
Now on to a new banished weapon we got to play with, the Ravager. I think this is a really neat weapon. You charge it up, and you can basically drop napalm all over the floor. You shoot normally for similar kill times as the Bulldog or the Heatwave at close range. I wouldn't say I love it, I wouldn't beeline for it like I would a battle rifle, for example, but it's pretty neat. Good original idea here. Now on to the power weapons, starting with the Skewer. From what I've seen so far, this is a really great addition. It is damn hard to hit players with, but super satisfying. But I am assuming that it's mainly going to be used for anti-vehicle fire. I really hope it's not supposed to be a replacement for the Spartan laser, but I doubt that it is, kind of like with the Bulldog and the shotgun. I'll save Final Judgment until we can try it out in big team battle, but so far, I like it. The second big power weapon we got to play with is the sniper, obviously. Maybe I'm just bad. I'm definitely just bad. But this version of the sniper rifle feels really hard to no-scope with. I'm not really sure why I find it harder, but something about it feels different. No complaints about it all, though. I really like the reach style of it. It's the sniper rifle, not much to complain about. On to the rocket launcher. There's not much else to say here. It is the rocket launcher. It is just as fun and satisfying to use as it ever was. Finally, the gravity hammer. I don't have any complaints about it. It's still a gravity hammer, but things have changed. It feels slower to swing than in the past, but it has a bit longer range to make up for that. Because of the slower swing and the fact that you fly so quickly, you can't just run straight at people with it. So you have to be a bit smarter using it, like pre-swinging corners. Otherwise, no complaints about it.
Grapple shot acquired.
Obviously, this isn't the final list of weapons, just a sampled list for the flight. We'll see more when they have bigger flights with more content, but so far, I'm very happy with how the weapon sandbox is behaving. But I want to know what you all think. Let me know down in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe for more Halo content in the future. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Frag obtained.
Halfway to victory.